Is this good?
No. Scoot back more. Tad bit. Boom. Good.
We're gonna be painting our very last birth flower, the December Narcissus. It sounds scary. But it's really beautiful, really fun. It's actually the flower that represents self-love. So that's something cool about it. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I just want to mention that this is part of the watercolor coloring book. So if you haven't already, go look at the link in our description, and you will also see the link to our material list for this painting. So let's get started on our very last birth flower. Okay, our last flower. I seriously can't believe that we're already to December. So this is a little painting that I did a few months back of the December birth flower. This is a Narcissus. I think that's how you say it. And I'm excited to get started with this. I actually am hoping, I really am loving the crayons. So let's pick some colors that we like. A lot of the photos, if you Googled the December birth flower, have some pretty like yellows and oranges in it. So I'm gonna just pick through this and then we'll get started. Okay, so I've picked my colors. I drew them up, make sure I like them. This can also show you kind of how your paint will react to painting over the crayons before you do your final painting. So as you know, I've already been painting, so my palette's already pretty wet, but I like to spray my paints down just a little bit before every time I paint. We will be using a size 8 or medium round tip brush for majority of the painting. And then for the background, I like to use a filbert large brush. So before we get started painting, we need to draw with our crayon where we want the lines to be. So if you are hesitant, you don't have to do this part, but if you're wanting to be a little bit more creative, I highly suggest it because it looks so beautiful in the end. So I'm gonna use this brown, like red brown, and just do some lines in the middle. I'm not gonna cover everything, but I do want to do a few lines. Maybe I'll do one down here. It doesn't need to be perfect. Honestly, the more organic, the better. So just have fun with it. And I'll do some lines in here for this one. And out. Okay. That's done. Then I'm going to use this yellow that I have here, and I'm going to just kind of go over some areas of the petals and in here. So this kind of looks scary at first. You're like, these colors look so weird. But it pays off. Do this one as well. So it's the same thing with like a pen drawing. In the end, when I say that you need to try to go as far as you can with it, you don't want to stop and like just go so slow and make sure that every line's perfect. There's a time for that, and there's a time to just have fun with it, and we're just gonna have fun with it. So I'm doing the stem, some lines. Ooh, this is gonna look pretty with it. Like that. I'm gonna do this little area. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna do. So I have those colors. I have a gray as well, but I don't think I'm gonna use a gray. I might at the end, but I just used the olive green, mahogany, I didn't even use this brown, and the golden rod. So now that we have that, let's get our paints mixed. So we're going to grab a little tiny bit of yellow and just put it at the corner. And I want it to be like a more brown yellow, so I'm adding a tiny bit of brown into it. And let's see what that looks like. Pretty. And then I'm also gonna mix a tiny bit of gray. So if your palette has gray, that's awesome. But if it doesn't, you can just use black and dilute it down to be gray. And then, now that we have those two colors, I do want to have a more of like a brick red for some parts of the inside of the flower. So there we go. And you see how pretty that is when it bounces off the crayons? Okay. So here we go. I'm going to start on the outside first. So that's where this like gray color that you mixed is going to come in. And I'm just going to be painting in here. Because the petals to these flowers are white. And so we're just gonna do like a light gray and then grab some of the yellow and just like dip it in the middle of the flower so that it gradually just mixes in with the petal. Like this. So we're gonna do that to all of them. You can use gray first. Keep it wet still. So maybe only do like 2 petals at a time unless you're pretty fast moving, then you can do both. Then grab your yellow and dip it in the middle. Like that. So we'll do that and then I will instruct what to do next. Okay, so now that we have all the petals drawn, that's where we're gonna come in and do, I'm gonna add just one more yellow pile because I used all my yellow. There we go. It's more of like an orange yellow, but I like that. So I'm going to come in here and I still want to leave some white areas for the seeds, but I'm like filling in the whole thing. And maybe even leave a few white areas for reflection. But then I'm coming with my darker red and I'm dropping it in the middle, like this. And maybe even like along the sides, like that. Pretty. Okay, so again, I'm just bringing this a lighter orange yellow and bringing it around. And then I'm bringing this dark color in and dropping it on the bottom area, like this. And if you're someone that wants more control, just dip your brush onto your paper towel and you can move the paints around pretty easily how you want it to. There we go. Dropping the color in. Here we go. One more time. And dropping in a little bit of color. So right here, I did a little bit more than I would like to, so I'm just grabbing it, spreading it, and then if there's still some there that I don't want, I just dip my paintbrush onto the paper towel and I pull it off. There you go. So I still have some white areas, and that's okay. You can fill it in. I think I'm gonna do kind of a yellow color, like more vibrant. Let's see. Here we go. Just filling in little small areas. That looks so cute. Okay, so now I'm filling in some of the the little flaps on the petals, and I'm bringing in a little bit more yellow to some of them. Okay, so now we are going to move on to the petals, to the stem. And this green, I think we're just gonna do like a diluted rustic green. So if your green, a lot of palettes have some pretty vibrant colors. So what I would recommend doing, I'm gonna leave this bright, but then I'm also gonna make a second color over here, and I'm gonna add a little bit of purple to it. See how that already muddies it up? So now we have kind of a fun muddy green, and then we have a more vibrant green. Both super beautiful. So I'm gonna do the light green first, because with watercolor we always do light colors before we put dark down. Otherwise you're not gonna see your light colors come through. So there we go. Just bringing it in. Okay, so now I'm bringing in my dark color, and I'm just doing like this side of the painting, and it's going to have kind of a fun reaction to the crayons. It's gonna bounce off of them. There we go. Okay, so now the drawing and painting part is done. Also, can we just appreciate how pretty this little piece is? Like, I love the scratch paper. Okay. Let's figure out what color we want to do the background. We have some options. because there's a green stem, so the complementary color to green would be red. Complementary color to orange is blue. And then we have from yellow is purple. So I would say overall, the majority of this painting is yellow. So I think we're gonna do kind of like an in-between of blue and purple. So I'm going to grab some blue. And drop in a little bit of red. I think that would look pretty. So we're gonna do that. I'm going to grab some more water. Okay, so this is when you're gonna grab your filbert brush. If you don't have one, that is okay. Your round tip brush, it will work just fine. I'm just gonna dip some more water in so that we can spread it faster. Okay. And we are done. Thank you for watching today, and if you were here throughout all the birth month flowers, I appreciate you. Don't forget to check out that free tutorial, and if you haven't already, go order yourself this fun coloring book. It seriously is so fun and relaxing. It really takes the stress off of painting. So I hope you love what you made, and I can't wait to see what you create.